Okay, the next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna ask her to take her carotid arteries, and you kind of turn your head to the side, that way, toward that way. Okay, and I can feel the pulsating is beating good with her carotid arteries, and I will check this side. Okay, and it's good. And with a carotid arteries checking, I can feel the pulsating. It's good and bounty. Doesn't feel any skips or anything like that. And now I will listen for any bruits of a carotid artery. And that's one thing that we want to make sure of, that is no occlusion or anything that way. Could you turn your head, ma'am, that way for me? Okay, now I'm hearing good pulsations, and I can hear her carotid artery is beating. And it's good and it's bounding, so it's that part of her carotid artery is good. And now I think what I'm gonna do now is inspect the entire part of her posterior chest, her chest wall. I'm going to inspect it and palpate it to see in what I'm feeling. Could you turn for me, please, ma'am? That way. I need you to turn your whole body for me. Okay. Her chest, it seems like it's in line and in asymmetry. It's symmetry and in line and intact. Kind of looking, I need you to turn so they can see you. And there we go. It's not, I don't see her spine is intact and curved. Don't see any out of alignment with her spine or anything like that. She does have like a little scratch mark thing where she's been scratching it, but no nodules or lymph nodes or anything like that. And I'll check and see, could you inhale and exhale for me? Okay, I see where her hands and her area is expanding. Okay, again for me. Okay. And in here, I'll go ahead and assess for any the femoris, the fermentus crepitus, I think that's the name of it. And when I'm checking, I will have her to say 9. And I'm feeling for any, irregularities or anything like that. Could you say 9 for me?
9.
Again.
9.
Again.
9.
Again.
9.
Again.
9.
Just say 9.
9.
Okay. And over here again.
9.
Here.
9.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Okay.
9.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Okay.
9.
Okay.
9.
And here I'm gonna listen as she say 9, so I can hear and listen to the lung sounds of it, and do her percussion feels of her lungs. Okay.
9.
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 Okay. And in there, I could hear there's changes of the wind, as she said, 9. So those was good. And the next thing, what I would do her percussions on there and listening for anything irregular. Okay. And I can hear the sounds. Okay. And we're not being on the scapular. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Okay, so those, you can kind of hear the density of listening to the lungs feels as they went through. You were dealing with the percussion part of it. And what I would do then, I would percuss for the coastal vertebral angle, feeling, making sure that she didn't have any kind of, making sure it didn't hurt or anything. Feel okay? Okay. So all those was good, and she said that it was okay. And now I'll auscultate her breath sounds, listening to making sure she doesn't have any abnormalities or any adventitious lung sounds, not blood sounds, but lung sounds. Okay. Would you breathe in and out for me? Okay. And then okay, her lung sounds was good. It was clear and good and clear, so those sounded good. As I listened to them and auscultated them, I didn't hear any adventitious blood sound. The air was moving good and flowing good through the lungs. And now what I would do is I'm gonna start inspecting her upper extremities, and I'm gonna inspect and palpate her arm. And you can turn back around, ma'am. And I'm going to inspect and palpate each arm. Not seeing any bruises or marks or anything on her arm. It looks good. Nothing's wrong there with her arms or anything. Her skin is intact. No open areas on either arm. Okay. And the next thing what I will have her to do is I'm going to palpate, I can have her to hyperextend her arms for a range of motion where she can put her arms going backwards. To extend them backwards for me. Okay. No problems or pain. Okay. Bring them back forward for me. Okay. Can you kind of raise them up above your head? Okay. What I want you to do is stretch them out. Okay. Okay. And go with this side. Stretch that side out. Bring it back in. Each arm, one at a time. Okay. Alright. Now this one's out. Bring it in and out for me. Okay. Okay. And the next thing what I'm gonna inspect her radial pulse. And seeing how it is and making sure that it's okay. So I'm checking for her radial. I'm checking her radial pulse. And it's good and it's bounded. And now I'm going to check her ulnar pulse. And it's good and bounded in this arm. And I'm going to check her brachial. Okay, and it's good. And that's now I'm gonna check the opposite arm, which I'm gonna check a radial pulse in the opposite arm. It's good and bounded. And now I'm gonna check a radial pulse. Okay, and then a brachial. Okay, and they're all good, bounding, pulsating good, no irregularities that I could feel on those. And the next thing that I'm going to check is her capillary bed, her capillary refill, making sure that it's blanching. And I'm checking each hand. And I'm suppressing it Okay, good return with less than 2 seconds. Okay, the same with the finger. Good capillary refill. It blanches good and returns the blood flow really good. Okay, it's good in that hand. Now I'm going to check this hand. Okay, good capillary fill, still less than 2 seconds. Okay. Okay, this is good. Okay. Good return. And the next thing what I want her to do I'm gonna check we did the 4 reflections, so I'm gonna check for the range of motion in her elbows. And I'm gonna have her to extend, hyperextend and bend her elbows for me to make sure that she's gonna flex and extend her elbows. Then she's gonna turn them around for me in each arm. Okay, well, let's start with this arm. You can kind of bend it like this, and then let's extend it out. Bend again, extend it out, and I want you to turn your arm, or either go forward like this. Yeah, going forward like this. Okay, let's try with the next arm over here. Extend it, flexion, okay, flex, then, okay, let's go. So good return with her elbows, and she flex and extend it. And the next thing I want her to do is the range of motion is in her wrist and in her hands. So what I want you to do is flexion and extending of each wrist like this. And then take it up, okay? And then I want you to turn it, pronate, turn it, okay? Let's do it with let's try it with the other hand, okay? Okay, again, let's turn. And the next thing I want you to do is, in this hand here, let's make a fist. Let's do one hand at a time. Make a fist. Let's extend your fingers. Let's spread them. Close them up. Close them up. Okay, there we go. Okay, do the same thing with this hand. Make a fist. Okay, open. Extend your fingers and close them. Make another fist. Extend fingers. Open them. Close them. Okay, so we did the spread and close her fingers, and the next thing I want her to do is touch her thumb to each finger on each hand. Okay. Okay, those are good. She had good range of motion in her fingers. Was able to move them without any pain or anything like that. The next thing I want her to do is touch her finger to her nose. Okay. Let's do it with the other finger. Okay, good. So she was able to touch her finger with her nose. And I'm gonna look at her triceps and her biceps and her brachial reflexes. So what I want you to do is flex. Like this. Showing your triceps and your biceps. Okay, and they're pretty good and firm. Okay, let's see this arm over here. Okay, they're pretty good and firm, not flimsy, stern, tight, and stout when we check those. Okay, and the next thing that I'm gonna check is I'm gonna palpate her anterior chest. I'm inspecting her chest, making sure everything is asymmetrical and everything is lining up. I don't see any breaks, bruises, or blemishes, any openings, no nodules or anything. Is smooth. So her anterior chest, and it's good. And I'm inspecting her rise and fall of the chest, and I see that she's breathing good. She's having the rise and fall of her chest walls, knowing that she's inhaling and exhaling good, inspiration and expiration, in her lung sounds. So what the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna palpate or auscultate and listen for her aortic. I'm gonna listen to the aortic, the plumeric, and the mitral valve, tricuspid areas. So the first one that I'm gonna listen to will be her aortic. Okay, good. It sounds good. She have a little abnormality slightly, where you can kind of hear her cuts like a whooshing or swishing sound. Now check her pulmonic valve. Okay, and it's beating good. The next one will be where I will go and check and listen to her mitral valve. Okay, and it's and you can hear it and it's sounding good. And the next one will be the tricuspid. I will try to attempt to listen to. Okay, and I'm able to hear that, and it sounds good and it's beating effectively. You have a good bounty pulse, bounding where you can hear it. The next one, what I'm going to inspect will be her abdomen area. And as you can see, I'm inspecting to make sure that it's symmetric. No, it's not asymmetric. I don't see any signs of hernia or any protruding of her abdomen. So it looks good and clear. No visible peristalsis or visible peristalsis wave in her abdomen. So it looks good. Inspecting her umbilicus, where it's good and it's intact. No umbilical hernia noted. Her umbilicus is flat, round. And the next thing that I will auscultate now, the all four quadrants for her bowel sounds, and I'll listen to that. Okay. And they are a little sluggish. Okay, could you move your hand for me, please, ma'am? But you can hear. So I check for the four quadrants of her bowel sounds. And the next one that I'm going to check for, I'm going to auscultate the aortic bilateral renal artery. Well, I'm going to listen to it and see what I can hear. Okay, and that's what I was listening to the aortic renal bilateral artery. It's good. And the next thing that I want to do is palpate or percuss her abdomen, and on that part, what I will do, I'm gonna take her and I'm gonna let her lie down so that way I can percussed in her abdomen, so that way we can have a better way of percussing and feeling and doing the palpitations of our artery. Okay.